time for quilting the quilt along quilt with rulers part 2. Hi there, welcome to a new video on the Sugaridoo channel. My name is Irene and today we are going to continue quilting the quilt along quilt. And this week I'm doing 4 rows again, just like last week. Last week there was also quite some explanation of how to set up your sewing machine. Going to skip that this week, so if you want to see that, hop back to last week's video to get all that information. I am going to dive in right away to show you what I will be quilting today. Let me show you what I came up with. So this is what I want to do with the delta row. I want to echo on the outside of the triangle shape and then make some triangle spiral inside the shape. So that's just going to be with my straight edge ruler. For this one, my row actually looks a little bit different because I went for improv shapes. So I also drew some circles on here with an erasable marker. I hope you can see them. So what I'm going to do is just make some kind of bubbles behind the shapes. So I'm just going to quilt in the gray area and I'm going to quilt around the shapes, and I'm going to use a circle ruler for that, probably quite a small one, and then quilt around that to make those bubbles in that row. So that's going to be looking something like this. That's 2 rows. Then the row all together now, I am going to quilt just with straight lines, and I'm going to alternate the direction. And also here the lines will go around the shapes, so I'm not going to quilt through the shapes of that row. And then the final one, and also in that one I drew some shapes in there just to check out how it's going to look and see what shape ruler I need to use. And yeah, I think that looks fun. So that's what I'm going to do. Let's move my camera and get started. And since I'm working now on the 4 bottom rows, I am not going to be quilting in this direction like I did last week. I'm now going to quilt in this direction because then I have less fabric laying over here. And I think with my designs, it's all directions are fine. So it doesn't really matter what direction I'm going to work in. But this makes handling the quilt easier. So here we go. I can move around nicely. I have everything that I need at hand. So here I have my straight edge ruler, and I'm going to position that. I'm going to go a little bit out, or I'm going to echo around the triangle a little bit more than 1/4 inch. There we go. Go a little bit further. Not sure how far I should quilt. A little bit further. There we go. And now I can come back down. Yeah, so now about the inside. This is going to be a little bit of a weird one because it's only half a triangle. But to start with, I want to echo on 1/4 inch from the edge. Then this way. Oops, I guess I ran out of bobbin thread. That happens. Now I need to figure out what it would look like if this would be a full triangle. I guess I'll just go this way. And then I'll need to go this way in some direction, but I don't know exactly how the angle will be because I don't have a complete triangle, of course. So that is what this line would look like, I think. Maybe you would come back in somewhere over here. And then do the same thing again. I guess that looks a little bit like what it would look like when it would be a full triangle. And then I'm going to travel along, backing up, traveling along the seam that I have over here to get inside the triangle. There we go, and then going in a 1/4 inch, and then following the shape of the triangle. There I am at a 1/4 of the triangle, and now I'm making my spiral. And for that, what I'm paying attention to is that I have a few lines on this ruler. I hope you can see it. So there's a line over here, here in the middle, and then 2 over here. And I'm just going to pick one of them. I think I'm going with the center line, and I'm going to put that line on my corner over here. There we go. I'm just going to go in that direction. And when I hit the side of my triangle, I'm going to move my ruler. So now I want to go in this direction. So then I'm going to line up the center line of the ruler. So the center line of my ruler is over here, and I'm going to line it up with the corner of the triangle over there. I think that looks good. Then the same here, so I'm lining up the center line on the corner of the triangle. And then I will repeat it as many times as I like. I think 2 more. Yeah, I think this will do it. That looks good, and then I'm just going to clip it off. Made a few stitches at the same spot, and then clip it off. That looks nice. I have a kind of a wobble in here because I wasn't following my ruler, but that looks good. So let's move on to this one. And here I was going to make some bubble shapes around the improv shapes. I think I'm going to go with this one. Let's start over here. Don't really have a plan. Just going to make some bubble shapes, echo a little bit, or follow the shape of the figure a little bit. Maybe I can even follow the shape over here. So now I'm following the shape of the triangle until I can continue making my circle. Yep. That's fun. And what I can do is I can travel back a little bit. So I'm just going to keep my circle in place and traveling back a little bit, repositioning the circle, going that way, going back. It's all fine. Just really need to pay attention to my fingers. Feels a little bit scary to be working with a round shape like this. Ah, it's going good. I think this is going to look just the way I want it to. Whoops. One last shape maybe. Oh, let's see how we did. Oh, that looks fun. Bubbles like I wanted to. Yeah, that looks good. So I'm just going to continue on this side. So that is 2 of the 4 rows started, not done, but started. So that's a triangle going within, or the spiral going within the triangle. And here we have the bubbles. Here I had a bubble that went out into the next row a little bit, but I think it looks fun. So I really like the texture that this gives to the quilt. So this row is going to be with straight lines up and down and from left to right. And for that I'm just going to use my straight edge ruler and move up and down. Haven't decided yet how far I'm going to straight quilt the lines. Where is my ruler? Here it is. So I think I can go all the way up to the bubbles. That would be nice. But on this side, there's nothing going to be on top of this shape. So I guess I'm going to alternate a little bit with how far I'm going to go. Let's make a first line. Moving that direction a little bit. And I'm going to vary the space between the lines. So I'm not going to make them all exactly as close together. So this is a little bit over a 1/4 inch. I'm moving aside along the bubble. Then moving back. And now I want to try to mimic those lines over here. Let's see. Yeah, that should do it. Doesn't need to be too exact, but I just want to make the same amount of lines at roughly the same distance. So I think this row is a little bit denser than the other ones I did. So I might do a few less lines on the other part of the row. So I'm going to go all the way this direction. Just going to increase the space between the lines a lot, but do the same basically. So traveling along the triangle. Then going this way. And there we have the other part done. Yeah, I like this look better than this for a big quilt like we're making. So this keeps the quilt a little bit softer, and this dense quilting makes it a little bit stiffer. So I am going to unpick this part and do it again. Yeah, I like how this looks way better. So that is what I'm doing for this row. And now let me show you this one. So this is going to be a little exciting for me to quilt as well. Let me take a look at what I thought of. I love how this looks, but also it's quite it has a lot of traveling. If you want to make the shape, you should go back, or maybe if you go like this, you can go this direction, that way, and back, but you always have to travel a lot. So another option would be to make this big shape also in this area. So then you could go from here to here, back up, travel, down and up, and well, where would you travel then? Oh, then you would travel here. Yeah, let me write that down, so that you go like this, back up, then travel, and go down and up and travel, down and up and travel, that way, down and up and travel, down and up, travel, down and up and travel, down and up. Yep, I think I'm going to go for that, even though I like the look of that first design more. I'm not sure how I should quilt it without traveling 1,000 times. So I'm just going to go for this one. I want to go from this point to this point with a nice curve, and I think this ruler would be good. So when I would do this with a pen, I here have a marker that's border erasable. I can just go from here to here where I have my ruler in a particular spot, and then I line the ruler out again on this spot, and I'll just draw. But when using a the ruler foot, I cannot have my ruler in the correct position, so I have to have my ruler a 1/4 inch away from where I actually want to go. Wish me luck. There we go. So now you can see me place the ruler. I hope you can see that. Let's zoom in a little bit and turn the camera. There we go. So you can see the line that I drew, and I drew it by having my ruler against that line, but now I have to have my ruler 1/4 inch away from that line. Let's see if I'm able to stitch on it. There we go. Yes, so I'm now at this point, and then I want to go back, and I want to go back to this point over here. So again, I'm going to place the ruler 1/4 inch away from the line that I want to stitch. Let's see how this goes. Oh, not too bad, I guess. That looks okay. So now I wanted to do some travel stitching to the side. Then I'm just going to go to the center of this Tetris shape, which roughly over here. So now I just need to have a point in mind where I want to go. So let's say I want to go here. Zooming out. Such perfect camera work. So let's say I want to go over here. Then I cannot have my ruler matching that point, so I have to have my ruler a 1/4 inch away from where I want to go. Let's see if I can reach the point that I want to reach. There we go, there we go, yay! Let me see if I can show you. Do you see that? There is the blue dot, and I landed exactly in the blue dot. So now I want to go back to the point where I started. Well, roughly the point where I started, but now I see that that point wasn't exactly in the middle of the Tetris shape. That's okay. So I'm just going to place my circle, then I'm going to follow it. Whoops, big stitches. And then landing almost at the point of that shape. So I guess this is going quite well, I suppose. I like it. When I would want to quilt the quilt much denser than this, I would also do something within the Tetris shapes. But maybe I will do a travel stitch all the way around the shapes, because here there's not so much quilting going on. Yeah, but I really like where this is going. It's quite addictive now to to make those shapes. I don't want to stop. Oh, I love the feeling of trying something new and then kind of succeeding. Oh yeah, I think I can say that I succeeded. So here we have the final rows of today. I am going to unpick this part. It's too dense for my quilting compared to what I did last time. But I really like how this looks, and I love that they go in opposite directions. So that idea is great, but I just need to make this less dense. And I like how this looks. I am going to do travel stitching to go around these shapes, because over here there's not much quilting going on, and also at the bottom shapes I travel over here, so here nothing is happening, so I am going to travel around the tetra shapes. But I really like that you can make such shapes with just quilting rulers. So fun. So here we had the third row of today. This was the second with the bubbles. Such a nice look to the quilt. And here we have the triangles with spiral triangles inside. So I'll be back next week showing you the final 4 designs, and I hope to have finished all these rows by then. Yeah, that's it. Thanks so much for watching. If you have any questions about the designs or quilting, just pop them in the comments below. And then I hope to see you again next week. Have a lovely week and see you then. Bye!